Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let's take care of the most important business of the day, and that is wishing all the great sports dads a happy Father's Day. This is the Adidas IMLCA National Cup 2020 championship game. Booker Corrigan and Mark Pion bringing it to you. The Rough Riders from Pennsylvania will be in red, and Team Resolute from Ohio will be in white. The opening faceoff is set to go. Zan Gunter, star faceoff guy for Team Resolute, drags it back, but it's going to be the Rough Riders with first possession. Mark, how important is that first possession of a game, get everybody a touch?
I think it's important for the momentum. You know, you start the game off, you get a good possession, you pass the ball around a few times, you get a few touches. I think that's what it comes down to. The guys want to get comfortable with the ball. And
when you say that, it's important for the defense to start getting that communication. You're a great short stick D midi. You play some defensive stalwart lacrosse for Hopkins.
Absolutely.
Defense gets some flow too when they get those touches.
Yeah, exactly. You know, especially in a tournament like this where guys don't play together all year round, I think communication is just crucial, especially from the goalie. They want to make sure that they're communicating everything, you know, whether it's the slides and the slide packages. Just overall, I think the guys got to communicate, and they got to make sure they're on the same page. And if you can make that happen from the first quarter, you're off to a good start.
And speaking off to a great start, right now the Rough Riders are scrapping. This could be a procedural violation, playing with the hand off the stick. And number one, Mick Lee has it top center. Maryland Rough Riders in red. Team Resolute from Ohio, and they've been playing exceptional lacrosse at every level. Ball's now on the far side with number 17, Colin Hopkins, as he battles for possession. The Rough Riders still wearing him down. It's going to be a bit of a war of attrition. 12-minute running quarters. Shot just over the cage that time by Aiden Shandley. Backed up, and the Rough Riders still slinging it. Joseph Carosa now backing up the cage. A stocky, stout little attackman for Coach Chris Mates, a guy I've known since I was 14 years old, coaching the Rough Rider squad. Greg Bice and Matt Lee coaching Team Resolute. First shot just a bit outside that time. And in the cage, Samuel LaPiccolo, number 12 for Team Resolute. LaPiccolo doing a nice job so far. Leading that defense, Mark, he's got to be communicating. How important is it?
I mean, it's the number one thing. You know, these guys have got to make sure that whether they're sliding from the crease, they're sliding adjacent, they all got to be aware of where the slide's coming from and where they're pushing the player. So say on a one-on-one like this, you got to make sure you push the player down the side. You know, you don't want him to get top side. You don't want to get the middle. If he gets to the middle, it really compromises the whole defense. So, you know, the defenseman right here, number 9, does a really good job. You know, Lucas Kasper, you know, he just pushed his player down the side, and that's crucial to really playing good defense.
A little struggle right now for 23, Aiden Shandley, but he gets a little right-handed, a little backside flip action over to Mick Lee, and we yet to see our first goal, but now just a touch over the top, and again backed up by Joseph Carosa. Carosa rolls back, shot.
Good save.
Saved by LaPiccolo. But the Rough Riders keep the heat on. Team Resolute. McLee shot offside bouncer. Team Resolute, their defenseman, Jack Ayers, heard nothing but great stuff out of him. Out of St. Francis de Sales High School. They got some other stars from St. Ignatius Cleveland, William Mason High School, and Marymount, as LaPiccolo battling it. Rebound. Look like he might get a little hockey goal in there.
Yeah, he
stick
tried,
one in.
Yep. Yeah, he tried pushing it in, but goalie got in the way, so that's amazing.
Long looping clearing pass, and Greg Langermeyer strolls it up, and this is the first real possession for Team Resolute in white. Samuel McCormick, number 14, in on midfield with Connor Camille, number 3. And of course, the always present Mason Rickens out of St. Francis de Sales. Thank you for joining us here on Father's Day. Fathers play such an important role. And you know what? Coaching's a little bit like fathering as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just an important father figure on the field.
Nice stick deflection that time by number 10, Miles Pittman for the Rough Riders. And the Rough Riders come up with this to be a moving pick violation procedurally. And it'll go back to Team Resolute. Carson Croy, number 4, pushes it up top. And we get our first real good look at Zank Gunter. And he gets it to Camille. Camille split dodge, shot just wide. Goaltender for the Rough Riders. Mick Lee, number 1. I saw somebody wearing number 1 playing offense. We might have to check our accurate roster. There are 2 number 1s, I've been told by our production assistant here today. Production assistant Carmen John Domenico. Great to have him on board. Referees for today's game: Steve Schutt, Guy Lafleur, Ken Dryden, and running the box, Jacques Lemaire. Oh, shot goal. Credit number 51. Who is a player to be named later, a conditional draft pick. Goal by 51. You got it. You got it. What a great play on the offense. Facing off for the Rough Riders now, Nick Erickson. A lot of guys from Conestoga, Springfield, Delco, with the Westtown School playing for the Rough Riders squad. Jack Sweeney putting some lumber down. Now he's got to come up with it. And it's going to be Rough Rider possession. Here is John Hamm. And we're just going to call him Mick Lee, even though goaltender is Mick Lee. They have a unrostered, a couple number 1s out there. Nothing wrong with having 2 number 1s, right, Mark?
Absolutely. He's going to go for a shot here. Oh.
Goes to a little sidewinder, we like to call it. And the Rough Riders keeping that possession on, but they haven't been able to really dent the twine so much. Lucas Synan, number 12, squares up on his guy. He's being guarded by Bennett Newman. Inside feed, and that is a pass. It's going to be possession. They're going to say if it was tipped. Rough Riders are going to discuss it, but it's not going to come to fruition. And Mark, you talked about the defense getting that momentum in the first possession. The Rough Riders moved it around so much they allowed the Resolute defense to really establish themselves.
Absolutely. They got a really long first possession. This one was definitely shorter. I think they tried to force it a little bit too much, but the Resolute defense was ready for that. I think forcing it inside early is important, but if you're not going to get it there, it's not worth it.
Resist the temptation to jam it inside, we like to tell them, as Robbie Wilson, number 15, gets it back. And now it's up top, number 21, Keith Cara. Robbie Wilson sets a pick. Shot just wide by David Shue. This is Wilson. This is the Adidas IMLCA National Cup 2020 championship game. Shot just wide by Kari Sears. Mason Rickens doing a nice job as well. and Bennett Newman, Joey Murford out of St. Ignatius High School. Theo Becker, cross crease feed, inside action, and a big time save by Rough Rider goaltender Mick Lee. And he gets it to Harrison Williams. Williams up the field. A little trouble for Ty Wolverton. Wolverton goes back over the head. He's alone. He can save it. 30 seconds with which to get it in that offensive box. Booker Corrigan and Mark Pion bringing the call. Long loping pass. Rough Riders inching towards the cage. No handle that time for Colin Hopkins, but he gathers it in the corner, and we get a timeout called by Coach Mates, and we will step away quickly. Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life.
Yeah, we've come this far, but can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Can we get back at it and keep grinding? Because the second we think we've given everything, we're gonna give more. Because this is our moment, and we are. We are made for this.
Whatever you're made for, Gatorade is made to fuel it.
Represent for Rough Rider
1:17 left first
Rough
quarter
Riders
here
on top of the game
in the Adidas IMLCA National Cup 2020 graduating year championship game. Team Resolute in white on defense, and the Pennsylvania Rough Riders in red. Rough Riders dominating the time of possession, but yet to find the back of the net. Joseph Caruza, number 24, goes a little man ball, and the Rough Riders come up with possession, and here is number 1, Luke Winnemore. Shot gathered by goaltender Samuel LaPiccolo, and he is famous. I watched the semifinals. Mark, you and I were watching the semifinals, watching the quarterfinals in preparations for this. Piccolo, you kept telling me you love his outlet passes, you love the way he pushes the ball.
Yeah, I think he gets it out really quickly, and it's important. You know, you always got the you have the short stick D midi coming up the field, and you also have the long stick midfielder coming up on the clear, and he really gets it out well. He tosses it right in the stick. So I think his team can really benefit from that, and I think they can. I think we'll hopefully see something happen from that before the end of the game from a fast break.
Connor Camille pushes it behind, and now it's back up to Camille. Tries the face dodge. And the clock winds down. It's going to expire here, and that will do it for the first quarter. The running clock creeps up on Team Resolute. 1-0 Resolute in the lead. Rough Riders dominating possession, but it hasn't added up to a goal just yet.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride!
Yo, Sean.
Yeah, why?
Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. the premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments, and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life. Back for the second quarter, and I've been told John Warner, listed as number 24 for Team Resolute, has been slid to jersey number 51. As we get a good look at Coach Billy Dominikowski. Nice to see him. Happy Father's Day to Coach Dominikowski. Getting set for the faceoff. And I've been impressed with Zan Gunter, number 8 for Team Resolute. Not only is he facing off, winning faceoff, but he's also running a regular midfield shift. You ever face off, Mark?
You know, face-offs are not really my thing.
Even with a long pole in your long pole days?
So as a long pole, if you're really trying to stop the break, you can put someone at the face-off. It's really it's really in desperate situations. I think that that teams will do that and make sure that the face-off man doesn't get a fast break. But Zach has been playing very well.
Jake Spaniak for the Rough Riders taking that face-off and winning it, and also drawing the foul pushed from behind. Rough Riders with a flag down here. The only thing you don't want to do is shoot wide. And as I say that, the broadcaster's jinx is in full effect, because you're going to get the ball back. If you shoot on goal, the goalie saves it, what happens?
The play ends.
Play ends and you get the ball.
Exactly. You're really looking for a quality shot when there's a flag down.
There's a clear view of what we like to call a push from behind with possession. Rough Riders going on the man advantage. A lot of pressure from Team Resolute here on the 32nd foul. They press out on the second pass, and now they all retreat back into their normal formation. Kind of a crafty, or as some might say, nifty way to play man-down defense. And Mark, that gives me the win in the race to nifty.
I think what Team Resolute right now is doing, they started off by locking off the top player, the top center, for the Rough Riders. So right now they're back in a normal set for man down, and they're trying to rotate around as quickly as possible to make sure that the skip passes don't make it through and that they're there on time.
And that pressure also makes kids play at a speed they may not be. Koshako on the rebound. Slim with the tilted brim. What's my name? Lucas Signing gathers the trash goal, and you go to Hopkins. I coached Bobby Benson. That is here's the replay, a great Bobby Benson type goal.
Absolutely. You need to be ready. You need to be ready for those. Not all saves are clean. Not all saves end up in the stick. And these rebounds are really important. So getting those can add up at the end of the game.
They all count one.
Absolutely.
No pictures on the scorecard. And we are back to even. Folks, you'll see it's a running clock. This is a summer tournament. They play 12-minute running quarters. Some stop time at the end of quarters. It's almost like watching the World Cup. Did Canada win their game in the World Cup today? I don't think the U.S. did.
I'm actually not sure at all.
They're not in.
I don't think they were in, right? No.
U.S. isn't in it either. I think Mexico's the North American team we're rooting for. Although I guess, you know, Team Mexico beating Team Germany, defending World Cup champions. But this is a sporting event bigger than the World Cup, World Series, or World War II combined. We're here on the Ocho. I have been to the pyramids of Egypt, and I have seen the Great Wall of China. This is a championship game. I spoke with Coach White Goodman. He told me his team really wants to win this one. Shot backed up by Team Resolute. Now we get a good look That's Samuel McCormick, number 14, as he matriculates the ball over to Wiley Lyons. McCormick will toe drag. Getting D'd up big time. You see that Rough Rider defense.
That's a good defense right there by number 7.
An organization known for their defense. Ooh, sloppy pass. Too much heat on it.
See, that was a sloppy pass, but at the same time, you need to give credit to the Rough Rider defense. They're really putting pressure.
And Mark, you were here on Friday. Adidas put on an incredible all-star game. Drew Snyder and Miles Jones coaching the teams, 2 of the great names in the sport of lacrosse. Adidas has spared no expense in putting on an amazing event. The coaches' partnership with the IMLCA, the Intercollegiate Men's Lacrosse Coaches Association. A couple years in the running. Great to have this game broadcast globally, Mark, even in Canada, and globally and in Canada.
Exactly. Hope my family's watching.
I hope they're not. So far, I don't think they'd be doing. I'm kidding you, Mark. You've been fabulous. Just fabulous. My production assistant, Carmen DeJohn Domenico, is working on finding out who number 1 is on offense for the Rough Riders. Turnover on downs, and we see John Warner, number 51, the goal scorer for Team Resolute. Nice catch by Luke Volpenheim. Ball on the ground. Nice little play. Tried to hockey it forward, and now it's in and out of the stick, and the Rough Riders on the transition. Rough Riders on offense, and we have now been informed Nick Madonna is wearing number 1. Madonna wearing number 1 for the Rough Riders. He likes long walks on the beach. He's a Gemini, currently single, although was dating and has a date to go see Incredibles 2 at the end of the game tonight. I'm sure, Mark, you already have secured your date to go watch Incredibles 2.
Oh, that was a week ago. Yesterday, 2 days ago.
A week ago, the movie wasn't released, but I know you Canadians get things ahead, well ahead.
Oh, for everything, absolutely.
Canadians are very ahead of us in the fashion and other sorts of trends. Still wearing your jean jacket, are you?
I mean, it's in my bag. It's a little warm right now, but yeah, I have it handy at all times.
In case the temperature goes below 90.
You never know.
Rough Riders on the man advantage. Score tied 1-1. All the nerves of a championship game being seen out here today, but they're still playing fairly clean lacrosse. Colin Hopkins shares it alongside Bryant Mates, number 19. I played hockey with his dad. Chris Mates could slide a puck, I'll tell you that much. He was a nice centerman. Shot from the outside gathered by LaPiccolo. And again, he pushes that ball up the field, throws the ball to open grass. And Team Resolute in transition. Oh, great little touch pass, and they're going to cash it in. Give credit to number 17, Bennett Newman. But the touch pass on the inside was just as fancy. There it was.
This is a great ball movement right here.
Hard to defend. And as we like to say, that's why it's not soccer. You're going to get more than, and that was the touch pass by John Warner. You're going to give up more than 1 goal. Clock running at 3:25 remaining here, first half, as Team Resolute inches us closer to being knotted at deuces. Violation on the face-off. And here's Ian Thomas. Team Resolute with an invert. Great short stick D-midi play. As Kari Sears in the yellow helmet, number 19, now top center. Ian Thomas backs his man out. He's out of Dublin Kaufman. Not sure if Matty Berner coached him in the good old days. Dublin Jerome, Dublin Kaufman, and Dublin Scioto, the three great high schools over in that area. But the best coach in that area, certainly for Dublin, is my man Matty Berner. Mark, big hockey guy.
Absolutely, comes from Montreal.
Yeah.
Hockey's king out there.
Yeah, so is Matty Berner. Big hockey guy. He'll dig a puck out of the corner for you.
Dump and chase.
Yeah. This is Ian Thomas, number 21, and now it's up top with Seabass Michaud. Coming back in, Connor Camille. Camille out of St. Ignatius in Cleveland. Nice little split dodge, gets to his left. Opts not to turn the corner, gets it back out to Warner. Rough Riders, great team defense at this point right now.
Yeah, you can see great slides here and there. The guys seem to be communicating well. So you have the D-midi right now behind the net. It's important to be ready to slide. It's extremely difficult to play one-on-ones behind the net as D-midi. You're used to coming down the alley, down the side of the field. So coming from behind, the goalie really has to communicate where the slide's coming from, whether it's coming from the side of the field or the top of the crease. These guys need to know, because through that, they're able to slide correctly.
And right there, we saw a turnover by Team Resolute. That was a team defense turnover created by the Rough Riders, as Nick Madonna now drives, throws back across his body. Rough Riders looking to get something cooking. Here's David Shue. And Shue's going to go for an invert. Ball onto the ground, and now we have a hot, sloppy mess. Oh, shot just off, and that will do it. First half comes to a close, and what a half. 2-1 Team Resolute. Some great lacrosse being played here in the Adidas IMLCA National Cup.
Yeah, we've come this far, but can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Can we get back at it and keep grinding? Because the second we think we've given everything, we're gonna give more. Because this is our moment, and we are. We are made for this.
Whatever you're made for, Gatorade is made to fuel it.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride! Yo, Sean. Yeah,
Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life. And we are back for halftime here at Booker Corrigan. Mark Pion And just like the rug ties the room together, halftime highlights ties the game together. Championship game of the IMLCA National Cup. Here's the first goal of the game by Team Resolute. Get a ball knocked down, and John Warner gathers it. And here's the Rough Riders' first real ring. Rebound, garbage time. Slim with the tilted brim, knocking that one in. Lucas Synan. And now the cross crease feed inside. Big time save by goaltender Mick Lee. And here is the touch pass by John Warner. Gets it down, and there's the cashing it in by number 17, Bennett Newman. Great action. Team's ready to get back out there. Mark, what's your impressions and what do you expect to change or see more of in the second half?
I've been liking the pressure from the Rough Riders so far. I think they've been playing some good team defense. I think they're pressuring the players in the midfield, especially forcing them to pass it inside, and forcing turnovers like that. At the end of the day, it can make a big difference. So these guys are doing well. They're playing good team defense, especially. Some guys are getting beat, but the slide is always there, which is key. You can definitely get beat on defense, but if the slide is there, you'll be fine.
Love it. Yeah, almost the strategy sometimes. So check and chase.
Exactly.
I know one of your coaches, Billy Dwan, he and I talk a lot about team defensive strategies, and he came to me after their 2011 or 2012 season. He said the best defense they played was when they just went out and check and chase.
Yeah, pressuring is key. Pressuring is key. I think this team does it very well. They make sure that you don't want to go over the head or anything that can really put you out of position, anything that can surprise your teammates. But at the same time, the goalie seems to be really communicating well.
Brendan King now in the cage for the Rough Riders in red, and Todd Kennedy in the cage for Team Resolute. They'll be wearing white. Second half just getting underway. The Adidas IMLCA National Cup. I cannot tell you how impressed I was with Nick Deneff and his staff here at Lebanon Valley College, and the show they put on all weekend long. Obviously, the highlight of the entire weekend was the championship games that we're seeing now and the All-Star game that we were treated to on Friday night. And Team Resolute transition opportunity. A lot of acceleration, as we say in the hockey world. All flash, no cash right there. But Team Resolute will settle things.
That was a great decision coming out of there. I think you could have forced it, but at the same time, you're really giving your team a good opportunity, good possession right here to get the momentum to the first half.
John Warner, number 51, across, and here's Bennett Newman. Hello, Newman. Three-man weave for Team Resolute. Bates Gall, number 7, gets it at the top. And they're pushing along. This is a fantastic facility. We're on the campus. We're at Arnold Field at Lebanon Valley College. And here's Warner. Jack Ayers, stop and roll. Gets it quickly to Theo Becker. Becker now behind. Play a little two-man game. Little cat and mouse, as we like to call that, Mark. Were you ever the cat or the mouse?
More of a mouse.
Sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. Rough Riders in transition. Some nice speed in the middle. Oh, shot low to high, no dice. As goaltender Todd Kennedy climbs the ladder to make that save. And again, we see him pushing that ball right up the field. So important for all young goaltenders to know how to get the ball, clear it. If you clear it, you don't have to save it.
Exactly. I mean, these 30-yard passes are not that difficult, but they can really make or break a clear. Especially in a situation where you're trying to push transition. So Kennedy seems to be doing it really good.
Yeah. All these goaltenders we've seen so far.
Absolutely. No, I've been really impressed by the passes by the goalies this tournament.
Goalies have been playing well. It's a 2-1 score in a summer game. Not normally the most polished defenses, as Samuel McCormick, number 14, now in, along with Mason Rickens out of St. Francis de Sales. This is McCormick out of Olentangy High School. He has a 4.0 GPA, and some of his hobbies include a robot, building, and wood carving. Some of his bugaboos include bear traps. He likes working on anything with fire. And now it's all the way up top in the confident hands of Connor Camille. And Camille's going to play a little pass. Ian Thomas doing a nice job. Mason Rickens, Joey Murford. And this is Mason Rickens. Rickens, little stop and go. Crazy Ivan on the near side. Inside shot. Great. Abe Lincoln's mullet. 3-1. Resolute. By the beard of Zeus. Have you ever seen a man dodge the middle of the field like that?
That was a hard dodge right there if I ever seen one.
Look at the replay. He tucks the stick well, off stick, hip, shot. Look, it protects the stick. It's beauty.
You can see that trail check right there. That really puts the defenseman out of position. You really want to stay on the hips on this one, push him back to the outside. That, you know, we call it fishing for selfish out there.
And so I'm going to ask you this question, Mark, because I know you're a short stick D midi. Do you try that check when you already sense that your hips have been beaten? Is that why he tried it?
I think that's why he tried it.
Okay.
But I think there was still an opportunity for him to come back and really turn his hips. And even if he can, you know, just push a player past 12, 13 yards, you're really decreasing the quality of the shot past that.
So
point.
maybe jam him at last-ditch jam instead of last-ditch fish.
Exactly. Okay. Once you start fishing, you're really allowing him to take the middle of the field, and you're putting yourself out of position.
Once you go fishing, you got a chance for everybody to get seasick. I mean, let's be honest. But I do think that there are times when guys go fishing when they know they're beaten. And they feel their hips are open and they're going to get run by, and the only chance they have is to go fishing.
Yeah, and you know, you got to give it to them. I think that check works sometimes, but the offensive player did a great job really tucking it in and not allowing him to get that check on.
Nick Madonna with the punt return type clear. It's a little bit of pressure. 3-1 Team Resolute. Rough Riders scratching away. 6:10 coming on in the third quarter of the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. Adidas doing an amazing job, and the IMLCA connecting with Corrigan Sports Enterprises to put on a fantastic tournament. Teams from all over the country and Canada coming down to compete. The level of play exceptional. The facilities here at Lebanon Valley College exceptional. Shot and fantastic save by Todd Kennedy for Team Resolute. And again, as has become trademarked by both of these teams today, efficient clearing.
Exactly. I haven't seen many failed clears today, and I think that kind of speaks volumes as to the quality of the defensemen and the midfielders here.
And the coaching.
Exactly.
I know you young millennials don't think coaches do anything, right?
No, I think
Hopkins ever do anything?
coaches do.
You think he's works on
great
clears?
job. No, we work on clears a lot.
I like it a lot. So you're saying there's a chance. Team Resolute again back on offense. Kari Sears, number 19, gets it behind. And Carson Croy up top now on the wing. Top right side, Ian Thomas. You see that Shamrock, that's the Dublin Kaufman. Seabass Michaud. And now it's back with Sears. Near side, Theo Becker, number 2. Patiently waiting for some middies to sub. And into the game, number 18, Mason Rickens. A little speed by Rickens. Shot, goal! logs on to www.IJustFlatOutStingCornersLefty.com, which is a website we didn't know exists. Take us through this highlight.
So the defenseman gets beat to the middle, and I think the defense needs to be aware of that a little bit more. It happens really high up, you know, just almost the face-off ashes. So the defense needs to slide way earlier on this one, and that starts, you know, from good communication. Let me talk at the beginning of the game. The defense needs to be aware that they need to slide, especially at a short stick DMIDI in this situation. If he gets beat early, you need the slide to be there early as well.
Nick Erickson now charged with facing off for the Rough Riders going against Gunther. Pulls it back. Ground ball, air ball. But the Rough Riders come away with possession. Erickson himself doing the dirty work as Joseph Carrozza plants and goes. Carrozza out of Westchester East High School, 3.84 GPA. Some of his favorite TV shows include Arrested Development and Modern Family. Great defense, poked away, clean ground ball pickup, transition lacrosse being played by Team Resolute as Greg Langermeyer, number 11, making things look stylish. Oh, what a handle on the far side by Carson Croy as number 11, Langermeyer, got laid out, but no flags. As the clock winks below the 2-minute mark here in third quarter. Credit Team Resolute's defense, goaltender Todd Kennedy, first half goaltender Sam LaPiccolo, keeping things tidy down at that defensive end for Team Resolute. Here's Camille. All the way across the field now, Bennett Newman. Newman puts it on the ground and then uses that as a way to gain an advantage. We'll stop and go. Cutter on the inside, bounce pass. Handled, nice check on the stick as the ground ball's still being contested. Rough Riders trying to pitchfork it ahead, and then it's kicked. And coming up with it, John Hamm, number 5 for the Rough Riders. And now it's number 23, Aiden Shandley. Here's Carrozza. Carrozza, a bulldodger to say the least. 30 seconds remaining, third quarter. As Nick Madonna uses the split dodge, gets a step. Can he get an assist? Oh, he slips by. Oh, give it to me, Nick Madonna. You're holding 50,000 volts, little man. Don't be afraid to ride the lightning. You see Madonna gets the ball up top here. He says, Spalding, get your foot off the boat.
Yeah, you know, you got to really make sure that you break down on defense in a situation like this one. See, the player is clearly beat, and the defenseman, the long pole, number 9, comes in a little bit too hot, tries to go for a trail check, and gets beat to the middle. And this is what happens when you don't break down properly.
No breakdown. 4-2 Resolute. End of the quarter.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride! Yo, Sean.
Fourth quarter. Get ready to go. Mark, you and I are going to be able to pick the Adidas player of the game.
Yep.
And they will get a 1971 Buick pickup truck.
That sounds about right. I think I heard rumors about that. I don't know if it was true though.
The car is out back. There's weeds growing through the hood, so it may not be able to be driven off the lot, but they do get the keys.
I'm not sure it passed the DMV inspection, but
right now it's goaltenders. We might have co-MVPs, Todd Kennedy and Sam LaPiccolo. If the score stands, they've played as well as I've seen two goalies play since the last Looney's 2019 game I coached. Big time face-off right here. What's the message from the coach going out for this face-off?
I think this is a really crucial face-off. Once you start the quarter, you can really extend your possession, especially in the fourth quarter. You can break down the defense. You can make sure that your offensive players get some reps and they get some touches.
Gunter facing off against Jake Spaniak. Referee Ken Dryden making sure they're set and still before he blows the whistle. That is a nice play by Team Resolute, but the Rough Riders come away with possession. Harrison Williams out of the Westtown School touches it in the box. And we got a man down. We will step away briefly just to check on him. This is the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life. Injured player was Dante Fuller out of St. Francis de Sales High School. Just kind of got checked in there. He said, hey, careful, man, there's a beverage involved here. Now it's Rough Rider possession. Great face-off. We talked, and a pick-off. Filthy little pick-off by the defender for Team Resolute. He's also wearing number 1. We have a plethora of number 1s. Jack Ayers credited with that one. A little behind-the-back action, and that's going to be white ball. As Coach Chris Mates, tremendous athlete in his day. Of course, we're all washed up now, Mark. You'll be there one day.
I know, it's inevitable.
You millennials don't know what you're looking for. These are the good old days, by the way, just for you. These are the good old days, so enjoy them. Yeah, you played club lacrosse. You played at Harvard for a little bit. Now you're at Hopkins. Are there coaches that you could tell were helping you become the best possible version of yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, throughout, it's a process. I know it sounds cliche, but it really is. Each coach has a certain impact on you. Playing for Edge Lacrosse, all those coaches that I've had throughout the years for them were amazing. My coach back home in Montreal, Philip Lalonde, was really fantastic. He really kind of built me to be from the ground up, so that was fantastic as well. And Coach Bechermal at Hopkins, living legend, fantastic defenseman, and great coach as well.
Joe Caruso picking up the loose ball, and it's going to be Rough Rider possession. The ref is pointing that way. Team Resolute's going over to get it. You can call that delay if you wanted to. 9:45 now. Fourth quarter of the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. The IMLCA teaming with Corrigan Sports to put on an incredible tournament shot. Caruso feeling it. Reach down and touch yourself, son. You got it. The dude abides. Getting it. Low to high mark.
At this point in the game, I think they're really looking for something. The Rough Riders, they're trying to force goals, and I think this worked out well for them. Great dodge, great bull dodge right here, number 24, Joseph Carosa. So this could be a momentum changer for them. So we'll see what happens after the face-off.
We've been informed that the clock will stop and start in the last 2 minutes of the championship games. It is running time up until then. Again, this is a summer tournament. An amazing recruiting opportunity and showcase on Friday night. The All-Star game, Adidas pulled out all the stops. Every kid who played in it raved about the quality stuff. They got shafts, gloves, cleats, arm pads, shorts, couple shirts, couple pennies, couple jerseys. Adidas really doing it. As we said, great back check just before David Shue picks up the ground ball. Rough Riders looking to tie it. Madonna, little stop and go dodge. Now he's got time room. Shot never made it. I didn't hear a whistle. Everybody, I guess we saw one on the far side. They called that interference going underneath the stick. Not sure I agree with the call, but that's life in the big city. Nice job coming back to get the ball, number 18, Mason Rickens. And he's going to go for the full length of the clear. How important is it for short sticks to go back and get that ball, Mark?
You really can't leave your goalie hanging out there, especially you saw earlier during the man-up situation when they were able to clear it really quickly. You're really allowing your goalie to get it out, and early you're making sure that, you know, the goaltender can have a little bit of difficulty clearing it, and especially in a pressure situation, you want to get the short stick ball, and the Rough Riders seem to be doing a good job doing for that, and the Resolute as well. So.
Mason Rickens gets it over to Seabass. Opportunity to shoot, but Rickens will pull it out. Rickens gets topside shot, and it finds its way over the shoulder of goaltender Brendan King. Here's Rickens.
I think that's just one of those shots. The defenseman, number 25, Harrison Williams, does a good job, gets under the elbow, but the shot bounces, trickles in. I don't think this was bad defense. I don't think this was bad goaltending either. I think this is just one of those goals that, you know, the goalie definitely wishes he got back, but you know, it's lacrosse, it happens.
A C&I shot, as we like to call it.
You can see right here, Team Resolute putting the long stick at the face-off, trying to stop the break. You know, the face-off guy for the Rough Riders, Nick Erickson, has been playing really well, so they're trying to stop these breaks and make sure that they get the possession at the end of the fourth quarter.
Nice long stick trail check, but a good ground ball pickup. Not surprised we don't see a timeout called by Team Resolute. No, it's going to be playing without a stick. When you get that stick checked out of your hands, if the ball stays in it at all, that technically is a violation for playing without a stick, and it's going to be Rough Rider possession. And that's one of those where the coach is kicking himself for not calling that timeout.
Exactly. This is a crucial time in the game. 2 goals down. The Rough Riders have the ball now. Hopefully they'll be able to clear properly and get a good quality possession. And
Harrison Williams walking the dog, drawing the flag. I think he checked the tire pressure on the bus tires on his way by, made a couple funnel cakes, and now he's back ready to go. He does everything. And drawing the flag is crucial.
It is, and as we talked about earlier, you really want a quality shot when the flag is down right here.
And that's quality. A crease crank on the inside for number 19 in red, Bryant Mates. Coach's son slips to the backside. Well coached, well thought out, and he really was about a yard off the crease, hands free. This is going to be a great view. Our cameraman Donnie doing a phenomenal job. Look at that. What? That's as crease crank as you're going to get.
That's wide open right there.
And that makes it 5-4. Now I believe that waves off. No. They are still man down. Team Resolute will be man down here. They have no wing on the face-off.
And the long pole facing off again. Right here.
And here come the Rough Riders with the man advantage. At 3:26 left. And we will have the 2019 championship game right after this as your main man, Joe Carrozza out of Westchester East. Good look at Joe Carrozza right there. Steps in and has one. He's already got a goal today. Carrozza, tell you what, firing more shots than the U.S. in World War II. Unfortunately, with the accuracy of a Colonial musket right now. Rough Riders on the man advantage. Shot goes wide, backed up, and the Rough Riders continue to sling it.
They're getting a lot of shots here on man up, and I think the Resolute defense can do a better job pressuring out.
Oh, and there it is. That's the one you want. Let your fingers do the rock and keep that G coming all day long. You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. That's just good ball movement.
It is, and we need the defenseman right here, number 20, to rotate a little bit quicker. But at the end of the day, you're man down. Communication is more difficult, and the percentages are higher.
And a face-off win, very clean by Jake Spaniak. And he goes all the way back with it, gets it over to Harrison Williams. Williams doesn't mind striding the ball up the field, gets it up, and here is Nick Madonna. Madonna in transition as the scores now become Cinco de Mayo. Oh, and a reckless Rusty gate check is going to get them a minute. And now we have a whistle for an undisclosed reason. Wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout here just to let everybody gather themselves. Clock stopped with 1:36 to go. Referees are going to come together. I think they got Judge Joe Murphy in that meeting as well. Judge Joe's going to sort it out. He'll find out who's liable for the. Here's the Rusty gate.
That's not the check you want right there. That's just.
And the referee staring right at him. That is referee Steve Schutt, numero 22. That's Steve.
Number 22, huh?
Oh, yeah. You know my old Canadians rosters. Guy Lafleur. Jacques Lemaire was an old Canadian.
Yeah, was a coach for a while.
Yeah. Not a great giver of information, but a coach.
A little secretive, but it is what it is. Good coach.
The old Habs. Larry Robinson. I'm beyond your time. Larry Robinson, great defenseman for the old Habs. He probably won a couple Norris trophies.
Yeah, is that what he did?
I think they had two. Back in those days, they had 2 Norris trophies. Bobby Orr got one, and then they'd give one to the other best defenseman in the NHL.
Okay, it was kind of a second place type thing.
Yeah. And the last guy to win the Norris trophy before Bobby Orr said thank you very much because Bobby Orr's going to win this the next little while. Back to the man up. Here we go. It's going to be important to figure out. Shot. Goal. There you are. Have some. Lucas Simon. He's close to becoming the Adidas player of the game. We got to start thinking about that. I love the way Brendan King has played in the cage for the Rough Riders here in the second half. But there's nothing wrong. We're starting to add up. I'm right now going Lucas Simon could be your most outstanding players. The Rough Riders rolling heavy like Danson and Highsmith. Tonight's taco night at Rogers Island, boys. Special Forces zip line to the goal right there.
Oh, absolutely. And right here, you can see the Resolute team is double pulling. So they're throwing a short stick at the face-off and having 2 defensemen on the wings to make sure they get possession.
And sometimes that doesn't always make sure.
And there you go.
The Rough Riders with a 6-5 lead. Ball goes on the ground. And now we got a bit of a hot, sloppy mess. Whistle blows. Referee Ken Dryden awards possession to the team Resolute in white as they trail now 6-5. Nice hustle by Greg Langenmeyer. But the Rough Riders doing what they're known for in riding. That's going to be a hold, and it's going to give possession back to Langenmeyer. Langenmeyer goes all the way across the field. And it's checked out of the stick, but quickly gathered. And they want to get a timeout if they can. Now they got a little transition opportunity. Great effort on the inside. Ball pops up and it's gathered by Brendan King. King with 50 seconds left, out the back. He's being ridden by two Resolute guys. Throws the ball to the sideline, it's out of bounds. It's gonna be Resolute possession with 44.4 left. 44.4. And now we get the timeout taken by Team Resolute so they can set things up. We'll step away briefly. This is the Adidas IMLCA National Cup 2020 Championship game.
Yeah, we've come this far, but can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Can we get back at it and keep grinding? Because the second we think we've given everything, we're gonna give more. Because this is our moment, and we are. We are made for this.
Whatever you're made for, Gatorade is made to fuel it.
Back, coming out of the timeout, 43.6 seconds left.
Come on, Red, let's finish!
And Team Resolute, what are you anticipating them? Run a play or go one-on-one?
I think they have a set play for this. That's definitely what you want at this point, and I think you're going to want a quality shot.
Is that what you like?
Yeah, quality shots. I'm all about quality shots, and I think 43 seconds left. There won't be a shot clock, and I think these guys really got to make sure they don't rush it. This is something that the pressure can build up, and you can want to force it. You want to force a pass inside, but that can cost you the game at the end of the day. And
I don't know what just happened. Possession was awarded back over the Rough Riders. Team Resolute, sideline not really screaming and yelling. I'm having a hard time, and I've seen a lot of lacrosse, so I know what. And now we have the referee talking unsportsmanlike conduct. Unreleasable, and it's going to be a Rough Rider possession. That will just about ice it. As referee Guy Lafleur over on the far side makes the call, and they're going to make sure that they have it straight. We have 28.5 seconds left on the board. Number 18, Mason Rickens.
so what Team Resolute right now is about to do, they're putting two players on the ball. They're really going to need the pressure. You can see the two short sticks right here in the midline. They're looking to get possession back of the ball and hopefully get a last-second shot.
And they're man down, so they don't have possession. They got to try and make something happen any way they can. It's tough to double the ball when you don't have as many players as the other team.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a goalie out of the net to pick up the farthest player from the ball. And if it works out, it does, but it's extremely difficult.
Rough Riders touch it in, and I've now been informed Team Resolute is 2 men down. Rough Riders 1 man down.
This really opens up the play for the Rough Riders. It really gives them an advantage at this point.
It really ices it. Ball bobbled. And he gets it behind with 3 seconds remaining. Your Pennsylvania Rough Riders are going to take home your Adidas IMLCA National Cup Championship. Your player of the game, number 12 for the Rough Riders, Lucas Seinen. Lucas Seinen, number 12. Big goals at the end for Invicta Broadcasting and Mark Pion. I'm Booker Corrigan saying thanks for joining us here at the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. we'll see you for the 2019 championship. Happy Father's Day. Welcome to the campus of Lebanon Valley College for the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. And these are the big boys, the 2019 championship game. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Booker Corrigan, Mark Pion, midfielder at Johns Hopkins, bringing you the call. And it's an absolute thrill to be here for the Adidas National Cup. Mark, you were here for the All-Star game on Friday night. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give Adidas on their performance and their production?
14 or 15 at least. 100 maybe, keeping the theme of the game.
Yeah, 100%. They brought the goods. Kids were treated top to bottom.
Absolutely.
In every aspect, they were adorned with top-notch Adidas gear.
Yeah, the player lounge that they set up was really amazing as well. Some video games, got some FIFA.
We had Team Resolute in white winning the quick face-off. Team Triad in dark blue with the Vegas gold. And Resolute with the first possession. Team Resolute doing a strong showing at every level as they bring out some of their star midfielders, starting with number 12, Evan James, played in that All-Star game along with Evan Ansted. Carter Hillary, number 10, played in the All-Star event. Adidas, phenomenal. Nick Deneff responsible for a lot of the action going on Friday night. And again, setting up this tournament, the IMLCA doing a nice job. Coaches from every level of play. And we get our first goal. Give it to number 10 for Team Resolute, Carter Hillary. He dented the twine a couple times on Friday night. Now he's got the first one on Sunday.
Yeah, I think right here what happens, the player from the crease slides, and the defense really shrinks. And I think that's going to be something they'll need to keep an eye out for throughout the game. As you slide, you really want to make sure you press out and you don't shrink as a defense, just as a unit, because that allows for quality shots from the inside.
And the outside.
And the outside as well, exactly.
Team Resolute out of Ohio. Team Triad. Looks like they're based out of the North Carolina area. Nice face-off win for the Triad squad as Lee Dunn, number 23, a star. Referees for this championship game, Jeremy Beckwith, John Gray, and Jazz Reinhold. Ball checked away out of the stick of number 18, Johnny Major, but he regathers, and Team Resolute back on the offensive. Team Resolute working it around patiently. They already lead 1-0. Shot goal. Absolute lightning speed on the dodge. Number 16, Blake Laurie, and makes it 2-0. Mark, great acceleration.
Absolutely. The defensive midfielder does a great job as well, sending him down the alley. But the slide doesn't come early enough, and the player number 16 gets a great shot.
Just been informed that the Maryland Rough Riders have taken home a championship at one of the levels. So that's a Pennsylvania Rough Rider and a Maryland Rough Rider team picking up a title. Team Resolute playing in some championship games yet to bring home the bacon here on the network. CSCLax.com bringing it to you. And of course, Corrigan Sports responsible. You see the banner on the far side. Corrigan Sports are responsible for putting on a really tremendous first-class event.
World-class event, absolutely. You know, we've only seen, we had positive results out here, and just positive commentary from the parents, the families, the coaches. Just everyone seems to be really happy. We've got great weather as well. Valley College, great facilities,
and
great.
Positive commentary about the commentary.
Oh, exactly. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, you can only hope, right?
Exactly.
was a bit of a ward, but a nice save by Team Resolute goaltender. Driving to the cage that time, Clayton Joyner for the Triad squad. Team Resolute, patient clearing, and there we get number 20 goaltender Christian Tomei. And he's coming down. Christian, go on and get yourself some. Oh, give it to me, Christian. Look at the big boy. Strolling it down. And of course, I say, look at the big boy. What, Mark, let's call it what it is. I'm 30 pounds overweight, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like making a Polish joke. If you're Polish, you can make a Polish joke.
Oh, this goalie can run right now. I can tell he's gonna.
Christian Tomei.
He's gonna be moving the ball today.
Big bodybuilder, Christian Tomei. No relation to Marissa Tomei. I've been informed by production assistant Carmen DeJohn Domenico. No relation to Academy Award-winning actress Marissa Tomei, whose biological clock is ticking. Triads number 88, 88, Aiden Cosgrove. And now we get number 18, Elliot Holden. Little hitch move, hitch and go. Tries to get a step. It's been all Resolute, but they're only up 2-0. So it's a nice time for Team Triad to make something happen as Cosgrove goes right to left, rolls back. Crazy Ivan shot, never makes it in. And you see the hobble by number 1, Clayton Joyner. He is not thrilled with the way that shot went as number 30, Kason Dillon, digs in on his man. Dillon rolls back. A lot of lumber on him right now. Gets caught up in the dodge.
Great defensive pressure right here. Saw a double, even a triple, and allows you to get a fast break like this one.
Hits the point man with toe drag. Credit Charlie Cowart, the defenseman out of Marymount High School. He is committed to the Air Force Academy. And a nice play by 98 Jack Petros. Team Triad still looking to dent the twine. Mark, when that happens, when you're slow to get the offense going, is the pressure build?
I think it can, especially in a championship game. These these guys are really trying to get the points in, and I think a 2-0. I don't think it's something to be too worried about, but you got to make sure you stay poised and keep your composure at this point. It's only the first quarter. There's 5 minutes left. There's nothing to worry about. They're getting good quality possessions. They just have to finish, and they got to make sure that they get high quality shots.
And again, in our preparations, you and I watched the quarterfinals, we watched the semifinals. We were able to really diagnose this Team Triad. They're low on substitutes. I know that at 4 or 5 subs, so he could be an issue, but heart can never really be put on the Richter scale. You never know how much heart a team has until you played them.
Exactly, and no, definitely. They've been playing really hard throughout the tournament, and I think that really plays in their favor.
Landon Clary, number 28, putting pressure on the ball, and you see why he is a Ronald Reagan High School star. Comes down, Clary, inside feed. It's gathered by the big dog, Tristan Tomei. Shot, goal inside, and now we get a late flag, number 3 for Team Resolute, Andrew Brim out of Dublin, Jerome. Another little Matty Burner disciple. Turn the corner here. And they got a flag. I don't know if it was waved off or not. Look at the replay here, Mark. They're calling it.
Yeah, I think that hit was a little bit high. I think maybe a bit of frustration building up, 3-0. But we'll see what the call is here.
I might think they might wave that off, but no, they're going to go dead ball. It's Team Resolute possession. They're already up 3-0. They got a squeaker right there, but they all count 1. We've discussed the fact that they are no beauty marks.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. No.
Kind of like Hopkins girls. I did not just say I was talking about something. I was talking about Johnny Hopkins and Sloan Kettering. It had nothing to do with a university. Great crossfield pass, shot, goal, easy pickings for the man up for Team Resolute as Andrew Brim. His second goal in as many touches. Brim with that famous Dublin Jerome helmet. 3.7 GPA. And he's headed to Denison to play for Mike Caravana. Mikey C's got to be happy with what he's going to be getting out of Dublin Jerome. Mike C, the longtime coach at Denison University. In 1991, Mark, I want to ask you a trivia question. Who was his assistant coach in 1991 at Denison University?
Was it Booker Corrigan?
That is a correct answer. It was in 1991, so it was probably right when you were, what, 10, 11, 12?
Something like that. Yeah, 91, yep.
91, I don't think your parents had met yet. Here's Team Triad, Clayton Joyner. As they went on the man down. They gave up the third goal, going on the man down, gave up the fourth. Be interesting to see how they are able to mount some sort of comeback. That's a push. Kind of a nudging, but still. Elliot Holden gets it up top. And Team Triad kind of gathering themselves. We talked about, Team Resolute 10 subs, Team Triad less than 7. Could be a war of attrition as Casey Dillon. And he gets Long John. Casey Dillon, one of those guys who was in the goodie room on Friday night.
And he got some nice stuff out there. Oh, absolutely.
Adidas pulling out all the stops and giving these kids amazing stuff. Nick Deneff doing a fantastic performance, organizing Corrigan Sports with this, and the Adidas people really did a great job.
Oh, it was a world-class event, and just generally speaking, I think all the players loved what they got, and the gear was fantastic. It was beautiful. It really was.
Here is your textbook long johnning, and that's going to go down as a hold. And there's that Team Resolute. They like on man down to pressure the first couple passes before they all retreat back in. Holden coming around the cage. Lob pass up top. Have some, son. Go on and get you a corner. Pick it off. Anson Waldorf out of RJR Reynolds High School.
Doubling on man down with 2 poles behind the net is definitely a bold strategy here by Team Resolute, and Team Triad definitely takes advantage of it.
Out of RJR Reynolds High School, safe to say he's smoking from up top.
Oh, that was a good shot right there.
End of the quarter, we'll step away briefly. This is the IMLCA Adidas National Cup.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride!
Yo, Sean.
Yeah, live!
Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life. Second quarter set to go, 4-1, Team Resolute in the lead. Triad Elite looking to build some momentum. Team Resolute and Triad Elite bringing a lot of great teams to this very well-run Adidas IMLCA National Cup. Booker Corrigan, Mark Pion. Of course, Mark Pion, famous Johns Hopkins short stick D midi, played some long pole in his Harvard days.
Feels like so long ago.
Yeah, well, you old guys are always hankering for the good old days.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying my time at Hopkins.
A hot, sloppy mess of an opening face-off, but they flip it back. And Triad Elite's going to get a chance to clear Tyler Holland in the cage for Triad Elite now. And a looping pass, and they're going to be late on the 30-second clock as well. He can go over. He's free to go. And there's your delay. I hate to say I called it, but I called it. Right? You can tell they were late in that 30-second clock. They were slow getting the clear set up, and then when the ball went down, that's when things tend to go awry. Andrew Gianetti.
Team Resolute really putting good pressure on the clear. Good things happen from there.
Resolute patiently now on offense. But they also know they're playing a team, Triad Elite, that's low on sub. So they can put the throttle down.
Longer possessions are really difficult to defend on defense, especially with low numbers like this. You'll see Team Resolute really take their time, really pass the ball around, and make sure that defensemen run away in and out consistently.
And this is Andrew Brim. Brim sets up, goes left to right on the split from behind. Feeds into the crease shot. Oh, what a save. Not up in here, Fat Jesus. Slide it on back. Great save by Triad Elite goaltender Tyler Holland. And now we see some of the speed by 26 Bryson Leon. Touched into the box by Charles Waddleworth. He carries a 4.25 GPA. That'll open some doors for you here in the second quarter. Case and Dillon for Triad looking to dodge. They do seem like they might be a step tired, and that's not going to bode well as the heat continues to pound. Charles Waddleworth, number 22, gets it alongside. Aiden Cosgrove. Little swim move, comes back to his right hand. Great defense there by Blake Lurie. He's headed to Robert Morris, the midfielder, number 16 for Team Resolute. An inside goal. Number 8, Regan Griggs. Griggs out of Southern Alliance High School. He makes it 4-2.
See, I like what I'm seeing from Triad right now. They're not forcing any shots, although, you know, they're definitely trailing. They're not forcing it inside. They're making sure number 17 right here needs to keep his head on swivel. He really needs to make sure that he sees his man and the ball, and he gets snuck from behind, and that's a goal. And you got to really make sure, especially in college, that the cuts from behind don't end up free.
Little slip cut there by Regan Griggs. Nice close-up shot of Griggs earlier by cameraman Mike Valente down there sweating on the turf. That is not nobody's jealous of his position right now. That is not a cool AstroTurf, but he is getting us all the angles as the pass gets picked off Harry Capizzi. And Capizzi then turns it over, and Resolute, they continue to apply that pressure. Like General Winfield Scott's Anaconda plan in the Civil War, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, the way he wanted to just simply choke down the South. And Winfield Scott, obviously, old fuss and feathers, Northern General, your U.S. Civil War history buff, I'm sure. So it's certainly nice to have you alongside him.
Right there. Yep.
Resolute again, shot goal outside, bringing it, slinging it, stinging it. Credit Carter Hillary He is committed to Ohio State. Coach Myers have to be thrilled with what he's getting in that product. They got a number of D1 commits. Evan James, as we look at the replay here.
Yeah, this is good. This is good defense right here. You know, you see number 1 come out, number 5. Somebody needs to pick him up. Somebody needs to communicate, pick up the right player. 2 guys thinking that they have the wrong player usually ends up in a high-quality shot.
Number 9, Nick Harris, committed to Notre Dame. Number 4, Carson Berkey, committed to Cleveland State. We talked about Brim going to Denison, Holy Cross, George Curley. Evan James committed to Loyola University. We got a Robert Morris commit, couple Robert Morris commits, and a couple more Cleveland State commits.
The turnovers are really starting to add up for Team Triad Elite right now.
Christian Tomei, long pass, and it's gathered by Kyle Beasley. Shot goes wide, backed up by Resolute, and they will retain possession. Charlie Cowart doing a nice job defensively. And this is George Curley. Just talked about him. He's committed to Holy Cross. Nick Harris, the Notre Dame commit out of Dublin. Kaufman, number 9, top of the field, but ball gets behind the cage. Shot battled off by Tyler Holland. Inside shot, goal, and the rebound collection. Shot went wide and was gathered by Tommy Clayton, the Jacksonville University coach. Coach of Jacksonville, gonna have to be thrilled with what he's getting there. Coach Johnny Galloway gets a guy who knows how to move his feet. Backs up the shot, accelerates. Thank you very much.
You need some good communication right here to make sure that you know your players beat behind the net, especially in a situation like this where he's already dodging. You got to make sure that the slide's coming early, because if it's not, then it's an easy layup right there at the crease.
And at some point, that triad defense, they have to come together and say, I'm talking about drawing a line in the sand, dude. Across this line, you do not.
Absolutely, and I think this would be a good time for them to regroup, maybe call a timeout. And
as we say that, George Curley slings one to the low corner, and that's one we like to refer to as unsavable. I mean, that's a tough save to get down there.
Absolutely, off hip, underhand shot. It's really hard to read for a goalie, and this was a high-quality shot from about 11 yards. It's practically unsavable, especially on a fast break like this. Great shot, great positioning, and score 7-2.
Catch it, cradle it once. We get a timeout on the field here in the Adidas IMLCA National Cup 2019 championship game.
Yeah, we've come this far, but can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Can we get back at it and keep grinding? Because the second we think we've given everything, we're gonna give more. Because this is our moment, and we are. We are made for this.
Whatever you're made for, Gatorade is made to fuel it.
Nice shot of Team Triad Elite. And their sideline, they are still bouncing. Going to make something happen as far as offensively, and they also need to find a way to defensively come together and communicate better.
I'm really hoping for them that they find a common point right here to work on. Maybe communication, better sliding, and this really all stems from the unit working together.
Back to the face-off battle for Team Resolute. Number 22, Dylan Warner. Violation's going to give it to Triad Elite Adam Shea. One of the great face-off guys for them. As we see Evan Ansted on defense for Team Resolute.
A lot of pressure right here from Team Resolute.
Resolute can press the pressure button if they need to, as Anson Waldorf, number 21 on the wing, gets it from number 22, Charles Waddleworth. Now it's up top in the stick of Hunter Graves. Graves thrilled with his production so far. Back to Graves, top center. Anson Waldorf. Waldorf shot. And Tomei goes all the way down to gather it. And again, they push it up the field. Shot, nice save. Tidy little save by Tyler Holland of Triad Elite. Triad Elite, their contact, Ira Vanderpool. And of course, for Team Resolute 2019, it's Anthony Kelly. And here comes Team Resolute. Shot just wide. Heady attack play. You see that long stick coming down, you know he wants to shoot. Nice play by them. And Resolute is going to take a timeout. We will step away with 2 minutes to go here in the first half of the IMLCA Adidas National Cup 2019 championship game.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride! Yo, Sean. Yeah, live!
Good shot of Team Resolute's huddle. They hold the 7-2 lead. Coach Anthony Kelly's got to be thrilled with the way they're handling themselves in this championship game. Mark Pion, Booker Corrigan. Mark, what do you like about the way Resolute's playing?
I've been really impressed by their pressure and the way they play on defense. They seem to be fearless, and they really seem to be playing as a unit. You can see a big difference between the way they played in the first few minutes and now. They're pushing out, guys 20, 25 yards even away from goal. And this is really adding up to a lot of caused turnovers for them, and it's kind of dictating the way the game is going for them right now.
And referees Jeremy Gray, John Beckwith doing a nice job. Chaz Reinhold, he doesn't usually step in till late, but I'll tell you what, every now and then he will have nunchucks. Make sure he gets you some meatloaf, and he puts away his skateboard. He's got cartoons on right now. But his mom, I never know what she's doing back there. I know what she's doing. Resolute's going to patiently wait this one out. They kind of want to play for the last shot.
I think they do. I think this is definitely a momentum builder coming into the half. We'll see if the referees end up putting the shot clock on for them if they wait for too long.
And they jam the ball in on the crease.
Exactly.
That's not exactly what I think they drew up in the huddle, but every now and then, they're high school kids. They're going to do what they do and do it well. They made it to the championship as we see Jacob Schultz out of Greensboro Day School with the clear, and Clayton Joyner chilling for right now as Team Triad Elite subs some guys. And now they can play for the last shot with 54 seconds here in the first half of the Adidas IMLCA National Cup Championship game for the 2019 graduating class.
Yeah, this is big for Team Triad. We'll see how much pressure Team Resolute puts on them, and they forced it inside with them.
Team Resolute now bring it down, and that's what you're a short stick D-midi, so you bring the ball over on a lot of fast breaks. How focused are you at throwing the ball stick side high to the point guy?
I think it's the first thing you think about. You want to make sure that the guys who know how to shoot best get the ball, and as a long stick or as a defensive midfielder, you want to draw a slide and pass it to the top guy.
What a save by Tristan Tomei. Christian going up high to make the save, and now we get a whistle on the far side. That will bring up the end of the first half. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Some questions about Triad Elite and their offense, but credit goaltender Christian Tomei for Team Resolute playing great goaltender. And we will step away for halftime. We'll be back with some highlights. This is the Adidas IMLCA National Cup.
Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life.
Yeah, we've come this far, but can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Can we get back at it and keep grinding? Because the second we think we've given everything, we're gonna give more. Because this is our moment, and we are. We are made for this.
Whatever you're made for, Gatorade is made to fuel it.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride and die.
1, 2, 3, ride! Yo, Sean. Yeah,
It is halftime here at Lebanon Valley College at Arnold Field. Booker Corrigan, Mark Pion bringing you the 2019 Adidas IMLCA National Cup, the 2019 graduating class championship game. Just like the rug ties the room together, halftime highlights tie the game together. Here we are.
This is great ball movement, just all around. You see great shot as well. The defense just can't seem to follow the ball well. And you see Triad Elite play some good one-on-one defense, but their help defense is just not quite there right now. You see Slide coming in late. You see the defensive middies playing, they play as best as they can. You're really trying to push the players down the alley. And if you push them down the alley, it's the responsibility of the slider to be there and help out his teammate.
You see those long passes across the field.
A lot of skip passes we're seeing by Team Resolute on Team Triad, and that's really kind of make or break for this team at the moment.
There's Triad Elite getting on the board, inching their way back in, but ultimately it was Team Resolute stretching the lead all the way to 7-2. You see good ball movement again, and Mark, you talked about the importance of good ball movement. You see the backside finish by Triad Elite Regan Griggs, and here's Team Resolute just outside cannons.
You see, it's really not a big issue, I think, for Triad, and it's definitely fixable at this point. It's only halftime. They're just 1 second late on every slide, 1 second late on every rotation, and it's cost them 7 goals. And at this point, they have to fix this. They have to make sure that they're all on the same page on slides, and it could really make a big difference for the second half.
Long stickman number 13, Jake Kapp, doing a real nice job for them in the middle of the field, as is on attack Evan James. He's committed to Loyola. Again, I talked about some of these college commits. Number 22, Dylan Warner, committed to Cleveland State. Charlie Williams committed to Cleveland State. Brady Ludwig is headed to Robert Morris along with Blake Laurie. This is a team of D1 players, and Coach Johnny Galloway at Jacksonville is getting his hands on some of these guys as well. Tommy Clayton out of St. Francis de Sales will be headed down to Jacksonville. Triad sends out number 10, Adam Shea, and facing off for Team Resolute, Herb Nypuck and Rudy Plahuva-Huvovic. You know how you spell that, Mark? With a P.
That's fantastic.
Johnny Major, one of their face-off stars. as is number 23, Charlie Williams. Charlie Williams doing a nice job, and Triad Elite just can't. That's a hold on Resolute. It's going to be Triad Elite possession.
Landon Clary right there with a good check, but he just gets stuck in there, and it's going to be called a hold.
And I don't know that he got a full 5 yards of freedom right there. The check came in, he threw the ball into the bleachers, and just like that, Resolute back on offense. Number 25, Kyle Beasley, out of Loveland High School, another kid with a 4.13 GPA. Some of these guys are getting up into the Mark Pion GPA area.
And a lot of good students out here, and you know, that's definitely key in terms of recruiting, getting exposure. That's the first question they ask when you get recruited.
When you have a nice high GPA, you don't have to settle for schools like you did, like Hopkins or Harvard.
That's
what we see, a nice
that's what they say.
Cross crease feed finished by number 7, George Curley. Another kid going to Holy Cross. Tough admission standards there.
You see another skip pass right here. It's they need to make sure on the Triad side that these skip passes are not making it through, because these can be really costly as right now.
Marley Tolton in the cage now for Triad Elite. And in the goal for Resolute, number 19, Henry Mayo. Landon Clary comes up with the ball, and now it's all the way lost in the corner of the field. But it's quickly Marley Tolton. I'm not going to give away his whole email address, but Marley Tolton's email address has the boss. 1, 2, 3 zeros and 3 S's. So he is the boss. Now we get a whistle on the far side. Not sure what we're checking.
Number 55, the goalie, might have gotten hit.
Checking back in, Tyler Holland. Marley Tolton. Will check out. And here's Triad Elite. Third quarter of the Adidas IMLCA National Cup 2019 graduating class championship game. Booker Corrigan and Mark Pion bringing the call. Mark, you initially enrolled at Harvard.
Yep.
Transferred to Johns Hopkins. Which school is older?
Harvard is definitely
Harvard. 1636, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
Shot inside on the crease, number 22, Charles Waddleworth, unable to gather the rebound, and Resolute maintains possession. And it's almost as if they can start trying to bleed. I mean, at what point do you start bleeding out the clock? What point do you take your foot off the gas?
I think they're starting right now. They'll take their time on this possession, make sure that they pass the ball around a few times. And I mean, if I were them, I wouldn't rush anything. It's 8-2. You really want to make sure that you don't give Team Triad another chance at getting a good quality shot, because it's still within range. It definitely is. With a quarter and a half left, you still have a chance of coming back, and Team Triad still has a shot at it.
Yeah. Resolute with an average shot. It's gathered quickly by Tyler Holland. But again, Resolute's been riding well. Triad Elite has had their struggles in the clearing game at times. And a lot of that, is a little bit of fatigue.
It is. They have a really short bench right now. And I think these guys are getting tired, especially after a long tournament like this one. You know, all the games they've played throughout the days. 3 games so far, today and yesterday. That can really add up, especially with a short bench. It's exponential, and these players are playing tough conditions right now. It's extremely warm, and Team Resolute is definitely taking advantage of that.
Resolute with a plethora of subs. Skip pass, unable to be corralled on the far side. You see the hustle, but to no avail. And Resolute will be charged with now getting the ball out of their own end. And this is number 19, Henry Mayo, the goaltender, who just started here in the second half. And nice little fake catch, resulting in an easy scoop and a quick clear for Team Resolute, and they get it quickly into the capable hands of their offense and attack. Tell you, talk about hot, our camera guys. I know Mike Valente and Donnie and Josh are working their noses off out there in this heat. This is not easy, especially on that AstroTurf. Bodies flying, ball goes out of bounds, and it's awarded back over to Team Resolute. And it's where they just can't seem to make a break or get a break.
No, they're hustling right now, and it can be really difficult, especially with all these skip passes, a lot of rotations, a lot of movement for Team Triad, and you can definitely see the tiredness and the fatigue build up, and the way they move, the way they communicate on the field, and the way the defensemen play one-on-one.
We'll stop and go dodge as now Team Resolute's George Curley gets it back over, and now shot goes wide. Dodge off the end line. And the ball collected by Triad back into the goal, Tyler Holland. Third quarter ticks down to the 5-minute mark. And again, Tyler Holland still has the ball in his stick. They're going to be late in the clock. And now Team Resolute is well offsides with a couple guys. They all come flying back, but that's, sorry, I said Team Resolute. I meant to say Triad Elite.
Yeah, these are mental mistakes that come with the fatigue.
Yep.
And I think we'll see more of these in the coming minutes in the last quarter, and hopefully Team Triad can figure it out. See, what Team Resolute right now is they're doing what we call dummy dodges. They're not really dodging towards the net. They're dodging towards the net, but they're not really looking to beat their man. See, they're going to look more for a feed inside and really work the defenseman on the one-on-one.
Outside shot by Evan Ansted. He's headed to Cleveland State, but that is gathered easily by Tyler Holland. And here is Aiden Cosgrove. And again, here is an example of Team Resolute just taking advantage of having more guys, which is a challenge. When you're playing one game, it's tough to get everybody in.
It is. It is. And having a short bench does have its advantages for, for exposure and things along those lines. But when it comes down to the championship game right here, Team Resolute definitely has the advantage with the extra players that they hold on the bench and just the fresh legs out there.
And you talk about the short bench. They've had a short bench for the semifinals, for the quarterfinals. It's been a rough day for them
adds
all around.
Up. It really does. I mean, these guys have been running all day in this extremely hot weather, and we see another goal from Team Resolute right here.
Carter Hillary doing the honors of unleashing the beast. The beast in me is caged by frail and fragile bars.
You see, this is a time and room shot. The rotation is just not there. The communication is also lacking. There's no one that really picks up number 10 shooter, Carter Hillary, and this will end up being a goal pretty much 95% of the time, because a 7-yard time and room shot is just extremely difficult for a goalie to save.
And I had a question for you. How many broadcasters have you worked with that can quote Johnny Cash and Snoop Dogg in the same game?
Very few. Maybe 3 or 4? No. No, you're the only one, let me tell you that.
Pete Puma. 3 or 4. And get a Bugs Bunny reference in. I tell you what, range. Here comes Triad Elite, shot just down coming straight down College Avenue. As my man Eamon McEnany. I like his time room bullseye. I could have done one there, right there for Carter Hillary. We'll get one in for him.
Yeah, we see Team Trad kind of desperate to get a shot off right now. They need to keep their composure and make sure they get a quality shot, because forcing it inside or forcing a shot is just not going to work for them.
And forcing a dodge is where it really starts to fall apart. Oh, shot, goal, long side slinger, goes 5-hole. Credit number 21, Anton Waldorf.
Yep, Anton saw that the slide was not coming towards him, and he had the short stick on him, and that just made it that much easier for him to get a high quality on the run shot right there from about 8-9 yards. You can't go wrong with that right here. Yep.
Look at Anton Waldorf. Excuse me, was you saying something? Can't tell me nothing. Slide it on back. That makes it 9-3. Resolute still cozy with their 6-goal lead, but lacrosse is a fickle little game and momentum is a fickle little doll. And here comes Triad Elite now making face-off wins matter. A defender goes fishing, and a nice save on the inside as the long stickman offers that one. Resolute goaltender Henry Mayo gets it out quickly, and that's a nice save by Mayo on the long stick. Long stick shots are harder to pick up.
They're really hard to read. They come from so much higher, and goalies don't see that many shots from long sticks, and it makes it just that much more difficult, especially the bouncers. The bouncers they're really deadly for goalies on the run, for the fast break. There's so many options, and I think that's what Team Trad was going for right here. But a great save by the goalie.
Goaltender Henry Mayo doing a nice job. We will have an Adidas Most Valuable Player announced at the end of the game. And right now it's up for grabs. It looks like it's going to be a Team Resolute player. Might be their goaltenders, especially with Christian Tomei striding it all the way down, getting a shot off early in the first half. And, of course, Henry Mayo doing some work in the second half, holding Triad Elite at bay. Shot after the horn. It will not count. But we will step away. Third quarter in the books. This is the Adidas IMLCA National Cup, the 2019 graduating class championship game. Resolute ahead. Triad looking to make something happen.
Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life.
Yeah, we've come this far, but can we finish what we started? Do we have it in us? Can we get back at it and keep grinding? Because the second we think we've given everything, we're gonna give more. Because this is our moment, and we are. We are made for this.
Whatever you're made for, Gatorade is made to fuel it.
Great shot of the Team Resolute huddle. Coach Anthony Kelly has to be thrilled with what they've been able to accomplish so far. But as they like to say, the hay is not in the barn yet. There's Anthony Kelly's shot of him in black with the black hat on. Little guy, he's what, 5'4", 5'5"?
That looks about
120 pounds.
Maybe 110.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I used to pick on him a lot, you know, when I saw him at lacrosse stuff. One of those great face-off guys. You really had to encourage him, though, because he's so small. He's really a small fry.
That's what you love to see dodging right down the alley. Love to see a guy like that, especially on a D-Mitty.
That's what gets you a shoulder sling.
Exactly. That's exactly.
For those of you who don't know, Mark Pion's been wearing a shoulder sling. It wasn't Anthony Kelly who did it to him, but Anthony certainly could have taken care of it because Anthony is 6'2", 220, and mostly muscle. Not unlike myself.
It's along the same lines. Yep.
I'm only 40% body fat. That's fair, right? 40, 42. Call it 41, right?
Yeah, that's more. Yeah, that's accurate right there.
Yeah. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself on Father's Day, and my father taught me the 11th commandment is, if you can't laugh at yourself, don't laugh at anybody else. So I'm just glad we're not on camera because this would all be true, folks. Oh, nice little dodge. And Mark, it is the fourth quarter, and I'm going to let you know that was a nifty little face dodge he had right there, which gives me another win in the race to nifty.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see some good dodges from Team Resolute. They got great dodgers, great athletes overall, taking some good shots, and you know, hitting the post. That's not a bad shot. You know, you're getting possession back, and you get another opportunity at really kind of wearing down this Team Triad defense right here. See, they're taking their time, making sure that everybody's set up in their spots before dodging, and this just kind of adds to the situation that Team Triad is facing right now.
The uphill battle the Team Triad Elite's going to have to face. Goaltender number 55, Marley Tolton, who took one in the midsection earlier.
That's one way to put it.
Yep. Back in the cage for Triad Elite. His colleague in the cage, Tyler Holland, did a nice job, but just was up against it sometimes. You get that ball movement, that backdoor cut, that backside feed.
So for Team Resolute right now, you really just don't want to shoot it in the goalie's stick. It's okay if you miss the net.
Yep.
You have players to back it up. But if you shoot in the goalie's stick, then that just gives Triad an opportunity to get the ball back.
And how comfortable is Resolute knowing that none of the Triad Elite defenders are going to win the race to the end line?
They're not even trying at this point to win the race to the end line. So this is really a good opportunity for, you know, Team Resolute to get some good shots off and make sure that they don't hit the goalie. That's all.
Nothing careless. Nice little hitch move. Hitch delicious. And a finish in the top side. Give the goal to, it looks like number 9, Nick Harris.
That's a good move right there. Taking advantage of the fatigue of the defenseman. You know, breaking down is just so crucial with playing good quality defense. The one-on-one right here, you see the player just struggles to stop. And you know, Nick Harris takes advantage of that. He really does.
Nick Harris, the Notre Dame commit, going out there to play for Coach Kevin Corrigan. Cousin Kev. Kev, fairly new onto the scene at Notre Dame. He's only been there for 29, 30 years now.
I think
just
yeah, he's pretty recent. Yep.
Finding his way.
He got his new email address last week.
He's just sent everybody a reminder.
The onboarding.
Like, if you need me, yeah, don't use mail like you did when I started. You can email me. Kev Culligan, one of the greats. I could tell you some stories, Mark.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep
looking forward to those later.
Yeah. We will keep those for our ears only. Kev's the best, the absolute best. And I don't want to paint it like they were terrible stories. They're just not stories that people listening want to hear right now. They're lacrosse stories and coaching stories and how to be a leader stories. As Triad Elite wins the faceoff, pushes it behind. Nice little shot at Case and Dillon out of Greensboro High School. He's committed to VMI. Inside feed, nice handle, but there's going to be Team Resolute with the backup. And Triad Elite, I actually had the good fortune yesterday of coaching against this 2019 Triad Elite team. And we noticed they had a short bench. We had a nice comeback against them because of it, but we were unable to pick up the W. But we did up the pace because we knew that they were short on subs. And the mental fatigue takes in. It's so hard.
Team Resolute knows this right now, and they're just taking advantage of it. And it's a good game plan. I mean, they were aware of it before the game started. They scouted this team, and they knew coming into the game that if they were going to win, they would have to wear them down, and that's exactly what they're doing with these long possessions. You know, nothing's really happening right now. They're just moving the ball. They're dummy dodging, and they're just wasting time and making sure that the players get more and more tired.
Resolute, very deliberate in their offensive, cutting in their offensive possessing of the ball with 6:37 to go here. Fourth quarter of the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. Great dive there. Probably going to be a crease violation, but he picks it up and gets it.
Yeah,
and they're going to give Marley Tolton, goaltender for Triad Elite, the benefit of the doubt on that one every time. Oof. Big swing. Surprised we didn't see a flag on that. They want to maintain control. I tell you what, Clayton Joyner's got some speed right now. It must be his first run of the quarter. Shot wide by Regan Griggs. Griggs with a nice goal in the first half. But again, this 10-3 score, Team Resolute just wearing down Triad Elite. Triad Elite looking to make something happen. Great time to run a set play as opposed to cutting them loose on a freelance open dodge. There's your cross check. Inside feed shot. Oh, what a save. Not up in here. And that will bring about the whistle. Henry Mayo with the save. And I'm telling you, I'm voting for the MVPs to be Christian Tomei and Henry Mayo, both the goaltenders for Team Resolute, because whenever Triad Elite, who is a darn good team, whenever they've had a chance, those guys have slammed the door.
They've been playing great. They really have. And I think they've been crucial to the communication on defense and just to making sure that the offense runs properly as well.
Man-up opportunity for Triad Elite.
I'm very curious to see how much pressure Team Resolute puts on the man down right now, knowing that the Team Triad players, oh, there we go.
I'd like to say you called that one. And speaking of calling it, we got to give a shout out to head coach John Haas here at Lebanon Valley College.
Yep, absolutely.
He had his guys out here, and he was out here basically 24 hours a day since Thursday morning. So he's been tremendous to work alongside in producing this incredible lacrosse event, bringing high school lacrosse players from around the country to play in the IMLCA National Cup presented by Adidas. Adidas second to none. The IMLCA, of course, the college coaches. And there's your Triad Elite. Little gravy for it. Number 30 with the finish. Case and Dillon, the VMI commit, going low to low, a little worm burner.
Yeah, that's a good shot right there. You know, he sees the goalie come high, and he goes low to low. Nothing wrong with that. Quality shot from about 4 or 5 yards. The rotation is just too late from Team Resolute, and that's what happens when you're pressing out on man down. It's just the rotation is much longer for every time the ball is passed, and at one point you just won't get there.
And where are you on sidearm shots?
I am not a sidearm shooter. I am a strict overhand bouncer guy. So
the Paris Hiltons.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hard bouncer?
Hard bouncer. That's what I did as a poll. That was kind of my go-to. You know, coming down the alley, either passing it to the attackman or really going for a high bouncer. And with a shorty, it's a little different now for me. Still got to work on it a little bit. But how
about your teammates? If they shoot sidearm, does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me personally, but I would definitely think that most of the guys on the team have higher quality shots. You know, overhand. The one guy that I can think of who has a really high quality underhand shot or sidearm is Kalmar, number 13 on our team.
Oh yeah.
Who's pretty well known for his lefty underhand kind of low to high shots. So.
And another low to low by number 30, Case and Dillon. He's feeling it right now, and of course, it was moments. Just to, Mark, I know that you're still a student at Johns Hopkins.
Yep.
I did allude to the broadcaster's jinx, right?
Yeah.
How long ago did I talk about how great the goaltenders have played for Team Resolute? Name them MVP.
Maybe one minute or two max. the last break we had.
They immediately give up 2 goals. We're going to step away quickly. We're inside 3 minutes in the Adidas IMLCA National Cup Championship game.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride! Yo, Sean. Yeah, ride!
2:40 left here in the championship game. Booker Corrigan, Mark Pion bringing it to you from Lebanon Valley College, Arnold Field. And this is a fantastic setup they have here at Lebanon Valley College. If you haven't had a visit here, it's not a bad place to visit. They got a couple new school buildings going up. You see the great athletic center there in the background. Obviously, those bleachers you're looking at are in the glaring sun. All the fans are on this side of the stadium.
Yeah, you really don't want to be on that side right now.
It is a hot, sloppy mess over on that far side. Face-off guy Adam Shea for Triad Elite has done a nice job here in the second half. Unfortunately, it hasn't always added up to goals being scored. But Triad Elite, no quit in this team with a short bench. Anson Waldorf behind the cage, going to the invert, being guarded by Brandon Infante.
I can see kind of a second wind of intensity from Team Triad right now. The way they're running, they seem to be more just higher intensity on their dodges, and that's a push from behind. Yep.
Charles Watworth draws the foul, and Henry Mayo rolls the ball out to referee Jeremy Gray, who's been known to crash a wedding every now and then.
Really?
Yeah. John Beck with Jeremy Gray. Yeah. Been known to go uninvited. Yeah.
That's not my style, but you know, people roll like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Every man's got to sail his own ship.
Exactly. Like on the golf cart over there.
Man up opportunity now for Triad Elite. 32nd man up on the push with possession. Resolute, they like to pressure, although right now Triad Elite doing
forcing it a little bit right here. Just definitely
looking diagonal. They're down 10-5 with 1:48 to go. Stop clock now. Corrigan Sports Enterprise and doing an amazing job setting up and operating, running this. A huge credit to Andy Biello, the organizational side. Travis Pools doing a nice job with the teams and handling that. Andy Biello doing a nice job with the college coaches. And, of course, President Lee Corrigan, who built this franchise a couple decades ago as Triad Elite looks to double with the goaltender, Marley Tolton.
Oh, and it works out.
They create the turnover, and it's going to be Triad Elite possession. Clayton Joyner will bring it in. Clayton Joyner with the Rhino dodge. Backside feed shot, goal from his knees. Great finish on the inside. That's my main man, Elliot Holden. He's holding. The Rhino dodge by Clayton Joyner.
It's a weight room right there.
Yeah. And 1:06 to go. And Triad Elite, it kind of feel like they just winced a little bit. And goaltenders for Team Resolute are going to be named MVPs, Henry Mayo and Christian Tomei. Great afternoon for them. And another face-off win. Landon Clary picks it up. And now we're at the 53-second mark. Aiden Cosgrove spins it down the wing, and this is Lee Dunn. Lee Dunn rolls back, gets it to X. That is not going to make it to midfield, so they will gather. Cosgrove looks to spindle it down the right alley. Feeds it inside. Dunn, nothing happening. And Carter Hillary will look to run out some clock. Gets it up, and now it's number 16, Blake Lurie, with 8 seconds remaining. And that'll be all as Jacob Schulte gets it in, shot, and the quick finish with no time left on the clock. That is it for the Adidas IMLCA National Cup. Here's a replay of that last goal. Holden with the finish. Fantastic effort by him. For IMLCA Broadcasting and Productions and Mark Pion, I'm Booker Corrigan reminding everybody you only get one shot at today. Today's Father's Day. Make sure you thank your dad for everything he did.